The man's student had just learned a bit of knowledge taught by the man. He then teamed up with the company's newly arrived female CEO to fire the man. It turned out the student wanted to replace the man's position. He privately changed the program, which led to issues. However, the kind-hearted man fixed the company's system. Unexpectedly, the student secretly tricked the man into signing an accident liability letter. He pushed all the blame onto the man. He even forced the man to resign. Otherwise, the man wouldn't be able to afford the huge compensation. Upon seeing the resignation agreement handed over, the man didn't ask anything. He directly signed his name because he knew that it wouldn't be long before the company's protection system would face collapse. Before leaving, the man also reminded the female CEO and the student. Next week was the tech summit. If there was no man, their company would struggle to win. But the student was confident in his abilities. He said that if that day really came, he would beg the man to return on his knees. Sure enough, not long after the man left the company, the secretary rushed in anxiously. She reported the news of the company's protection system collapse. At that moment, the man's student remembered what the man had just taught him. As long as he added a tracking program to the firewall, it could resist virus intrusions. The man's student followed the method the man had taught him. He repaired the system. Sure enough, it solved the problem at hand. Everyone praised the student's abilities as stronger. Little did they know that this method could only be used 3 times. It wouldn't take long before it could be countered by the opponent. At that time, they would face even more difficult problems. The news of the man's resignation spread quickly. All major companies hoped the man would join their teams. After all, the man was an incredibly top-tier technician. The firewall he designed was the best in the world. But because the original company protected the man's personal information, the outside world did not know the man's appearance or age. They could only try to gather information through various channels. Little did they know, the man was already 50 years old. The woman received the news that there was an issue at the tech summit. She hurriedly rushed to the summit site. Unexpectedly, she accidentally bumped into the man. Both were surprised when they recognized each other, because not long ago, they had shared a sweet night together. The woman picked up the man's resume that had fallen to the ground. After reading the name, the woman froze for a moment, because the man had the same name as that top-tier programmer. When the man heard that the woman was going to solve the technical problem, he immediately offered his help. The woman hesitated for a moment before deciding to bring the man along. The woman brought the man to the tech summit venue. Unexpectedly, they ran into the female CEO and the man's student. The two arrogantly declared that the victory of this summit would definitely be theirs. Little did they know that without the man, their program wouldn't be able to run properly. At this moment, the woman learned from their mouths that the man was the top-tier technician she had been searching for. Soon, the final of the tech summit began. The company whose firewall could best protect against viruses would be the winner. The man's student presented the firewall he had designed. It resisted the virus for 9 minutes. Everyone present was shocked. To their surprise, the man only dismissed it with 2 words. It was now time for the woman's company. Unexpectedly, the man quickly identified the flaw in their company's firewall program and predicted that if they didn't fix the first firewall program, it might not even last 5 seconds. The woman's secretary didn't believe the man's words. After all, their company's firewall had been built by industry experts. It had taken half a year to construct. How could it be as fragile as he said? To their surprise, when the first test began, it turned out exactly as the man had said. It only lasted a few seconds. The female CEO and the man mocked the woman's company for lacking strength. The expert regretfully admitted he had no solution either. At this moment, the man stepped forward and offered to try and save the situation. The expert immediately questioned the man. He said there wasn't enough time to adjust the system, but what he didn't expect was the man wasn't trying to adjust their system. Instead, he wanted to directly build a new system. Everyone was stunned after hearing this, because their previous system had been built by a team of people, and the quality was far from ideal, let alone a system built by just one person. The man confidently guaranteed success. Seeing the man's calm demeanor, the woman chose to trust him. So the man's firewall covered the original system, and the second test began. The program designed by the man included 3 firewalls. What no one expected was that the first 2 firewalls were quickly breached by the virus. This made the man's student very proud. He said the man had no real power. The woman also began to doubt the man. She regretted trusting him so easily, but the man remained very calm. He said it wasn't over yet, so the result couldn't be decided. Just before the woman was about to give up, the situation suddenly changed. The 3 firewalls designed by the man suddenly rebooted and successfully cleared the virus. The woman's company won the Tech Summit victory. The man's student angrily mocked that the man's system had never been tested in the market. Winning the summit victory meant nothing. Unexpectedly, the man reminded the student whether he had changed the company's firewall yet. The man's student was very confident in his own designed firewall, but to his surprise, the phone rang in the next second. He received the news that the company's system had completely crashed.